Hello and welcome. My name's Debbie Gilbert from the Best Business Women Awards, and this morning I am joined by Davina Steel from Davina Steel Baking a Difference, who won our Best New Business category in 2019. Welcome, Davina. Hello.
Hello, Debbie. Thank you.
So, Davina, let's just dive straight in and tell us about your business and, what made you start it?
Well, I'd never actually considered creating a baking or food business at all, I have to say. My background's science and nutrition, and I had cancer. So following cancer treatment, I became intolerant to so many different foods. And being a huge foodie, along with my husband, I was kind of moaning to him a bit about the things I couldn't eat. Gradually, and bit by bit, I got better. However, there's one thing that remained that I couldn't eat and still can't, and that's gluten. It doesn't make me so very ill. So I was complaining to him, poor long-suffering man, that I couldn't eat nice bread and beautiful bakes and things anymore. And he said, well, you're a scientist, you're a nutritionist, you spend 90% of your time in the kitchen, go and sort it out. If anyone can, you can. So I set to, challenge accepted. I spent probably about 6 months on and off making all sorts of things, bread, bakes, bricks, things the birds wouldn't eat. Seriously, bad bread. I copied out other people's recipes. Then I went back to basics and checked out wheat and the structure and function and tried to get all the different components that would emulate that most closely without using chemicals and additives, which a lot of other people do. Finally made a nice bread and won some medals in the World Bread Awards. I just entered it cheekily because I was feeling a little bit more confident, having got better. And this gave me confidence to enter another award, which was for seed funding to set up the business. So I hadn't planned any of this up till now. I gained £50,000 to start the business. Yeah. And there I was sitting with a loaf of bread, not quite knowing where I was going with this. So fast forward, I had to get my plans together and sort things out. So we made kits and mixes to start off with because we didn't have a bakery. I couldn't afford to set up 50 grand, was never going to go anywhere with that sort of stuff. Had to get my branding and everything. And they were selling nicely to farm shops, delis and what have you. And finally, about a year ago, we got funding, more investment in order that we could open a proper bakery, commercial bakery. So we're baking products for the larger retailers now and for hotels, hospitality, and so on. And we've had the bakery for a year now. Everything's going fantastically. So yeah, that's just something that didn't seem to be planned, but I'm actually absolutely thriving. My husband joined me a year ago to do all the logistics and finances and stuff, which is his background, and I stick with the new product development, the food side, basically.
What products have you got in your range now? Because I know you've expanded it from just bread, haven't you? What else?
Yes, we've got the kits and mixes, which are in retail. We have a whole range of snacks from crostini to biscotti, gingerbreads, a whole range of things, subscription boxes. So it's going very well, and we've got some fabulous bakers downstairs as well. So.
And I mean, getting into to supermarkets and delis and things doesn't just happen, does it? I mean, how did you manage to do that? Was it literally getting on the phone and talking to people?
It's hard work, yeah. I have to say. hard work. And the buyers, just when you think you're getting somewhere, the buyer changes and moves to a different department and you have to start again. Yeah. I think the key thing is we started with distributors into farm shops and delis, and because it was a more niche sort of product at the time. And gradually, bit by bit, via social media, competitions, other things, we've got our name out there and people started believing us. We've done a lot of what we call road shows, so all the celiac food festivals, free-from festivals. We've trod the boards, driven around the country to get our name and our products out there. You know, people taste it, they'll buy it, but we've got to get it out to them first. So, yeah, it's been hard work, but lots of fun. Yeah.
So thinking about awards then, so you're a new business and you entered our new business category. So what made you even think about entering awards? Because I know you'd also entered some local awards to where you're based. So why did you put that on your strategy? What was the thought behind that?
Well, originally I'd entered our breads into the World Bread Awards and we won our category 3 times. So we thought, okay, everyone knows we can make good bread and bake lovely stuff. And we've sampled it, as I said, in festivals and food fairs. But the problem we were having was the larger retailers and the bigger customers were saying, yeah, you can make bread, that's great. But are you a credible company? Are you going to be around for a long time? So we felt that entering some awards that were business awards, as opposed to nice bread awards, were our important next step. So we entered the Essex in Business and the Business Women Awards last year.
So
And
for you, the motivation was strengthening you as a business, as a,
yes,
you know,
absolutely.
so you were credible as a business. So not only did you bake great bread, but you could actually prove that your business had been judged externally as a good business. That's a very good move. Yeah, very
Exactly,
good move.
because all we could say was, yes, we're a great business, we've done this, we've done that, but to have others judge our business on every fact and figure was important to us. And the fact that we won both the Business Women Awards and the local Essex one has had a big impact on us. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about that. So what sort of impact has that actually helped secure more orders, do you think?
Yes, I believe so. The larger retailers have always had an interest in us, but we've been kind of that little interesting company, and they do some nice stuff, and the packaging and branding is beautiful and the rest of it, and we don't have chemicals in, all that stuff, great. But to get to that next step with them, I think to prove that we are not just a little business that can make a few loaves, that we have the size, we have the scale up, we have the longevity and the stability and credibility. We've recently launched in the Co-op and in Waitrose, and we're in serious discussions with several of the other larger retailers, and that just wasn't happening before. They kind of like to try our stuff, and then it never went any further. And I truly believe that these awards have made a huge difference.
So how have you been managing throughout the pandemic crisis? What have you been up to?
We've been here. We have had to furlough a couple of our staff because our baked goods and snacks are primarily for hospitality and hotels, coffee shops and stuff, which are closed. They closed the week after we launched, in fact. However, our online business and sales, with home baking being so prevalent at the moment, they've just been going through the roof. We've been nurturing our customers and our clients and looking after them well, and we're getting so many repeat orders and new customers, and so that side of things have been fabulous. We have been busy. We've got our main baker still working downstairs in the bakery. He's busy, and we hope to have the rest of our staff back very, very soon.
So what's the plans for the next few years? Have you got lots of ideas of things you're going to be doing, and you got
lots
of plans?
Well, we have our core product range, of course, but for us it's looking at different avenues to sell. So we have the farm shops and delis, and we're now getting into the larger retailers, which is fabulous. Hotels, coffee chains, all the hospitality. We were literally on the cusp of signing when we were launching, and the lockdown came. We are still in contact with all these people, and they are still keen as soon as they're allowed to open to buy our stuff. But we're launching in the next few weeks subscription boxes for the various different kits, mixes, snacks, an afternoon tea. If you try to get gluten-free afternoon tea anywhere,
I know, I'm gluten-free.
So if we can send people an afternoon tea pack, which brilliant. Our baker's actually working on product development as we speak. So we've got some lovely, fantastic new products.
I think that will fly. That would be great. That would be amazing.
So a lot of new innovations, but also kind of using our current product range to work alongside that as well.
That's very exciting. So coming back to awards, just to sort of wrap up and think about, if someone's sitting there watching this, not really sure about entering awards, they're a new business, they've been trading maybe a year or so, what advice would you give them?
I would say just do it, for fear of copying someone else's catchphrase. What made me do it, I saw your video on LinkedIn, and I thought this looks interesting. I happen to know a couple of women, one who's won it previously and one who entered this year and won her category. And I thought, well, if they can do it, yeah, I can. And as we discussed, the business side was kind of important for us to be elevating that a bit. And when I looked into it, I thought, well, this is right up our street. And it wasn't hugely costly, like a lot of the awards are ridiculous amounts for a small company.
Yeah.
And this was sensible just to cover the costs. So it was great with that. The advice I give, do it, shout about how good you are. Don't be bland. Don't be, tell everyone how amazing you are, but you have to back that up with facts, because these judges aren't just going to listen to you saying, yes, you sound wonderful.
Yeah.
Always back up everything you do. So don't overrag it, but tell everyone how fabulous you are, because they won't know otherwise.
Yeah.
And spend time doing it. Think about what you're doing. Wow the judges. Just tell them how fantastic you are. Let them make their minds up.
I think what you did really well in your entry, because I went and had a quick look at the judges' comments before we went on to the interview today, and the fact that you put some projections in there, and that you had been trading for a while before you entered, because often we get people who enter new business category that have literally set up like 3 months before, and it's too early. That is too early. And you need some kind of already some sort of traction that you've had. And I think that it was the right time for your business to enter this, without a doubt. Yeah. And what you did well was you put some projections in there as well, so they could actually see that you thought it through and that you'd got a viable plan going forward. And that's what a lot of people miss on the new business category. They don't put that information in there, and therefore, you can't expect judges to try and work out whether this business has got a viable 5-year plan. So I think you did really well in that respect, and you put all because we had a lot of entries. New business does get a lot of entries. So you did really well, and I think you stood out because you'd clearly thought your plans out very carefully, and you communicated that really well in your entry.
Thank you. I think the key to that also was I made quite heavy use of our accountant.
Yeah.
So I was throwing stuff at him, and he was quizzing me really strongly on things. Are you sure about this? What do you think about that? And so that helped me to iron out the stupid mistakes and the things that perhaps weren't viable, because he sorted that. He got clarity for me before that. So using him and his advice was key for that, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
and for the business, of course, not just the awards.
What was the award you won in Essex? What was that one?
That was the best new business as well. So it was a similar, slightly different category, but quite similar, yeah.
And when you were going through the entry process, did it kind of shine a light on anything that you thought, oh, actually, I do need to think a bit more about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Doing the awards is a bit like writing your business plan. It really focuses your mind. And some things I'd written in the first draft of the awards certainly didn't make the cut, because, having discussed it with my other people in the business and with my accountant, it gave me a lot of clarity, yeah. And I think that was helpful for almost as if I were writing another business plan. So yes, that was really, really helpful.
Brilliant. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up today? It's been great to talk to you and find out about your business.
Really, this has been fabulous for us. It really has made a difference to our business. And to anyone thinking of doing it this year and pausing and wondering, I would say, do it, take advice, listen to any of your colleagues, if you have any, get people's feedback before you enter, and just tell everyone how amazing you are. Just go.
Yeah, that's what I always say. No one else is going to do it. You've got to do it yourself and put yourself out there. Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us today. Quite excited to see more of your products out there. I've tasted one of Davina's gorgeous gingerbreads, which is amazing, because as someone who's gluten and dairy free myself, it's, anyone watching this who is gluten or dairy free or both will know how difficult it is to get any baked goods at all that taste nice. So amazing. I think what you're doing is incredible. So well done you. And thank you for joining us today.
And thank you. We're enjoying every minute of it. And thank you so much for doing these awards.
Thank you.